the signal that shouldn't exist. In 1977, something impossible happened. A radio telescope in Ohio detected a signal from deep space so strange, so powerful, and so precise that even the astronomer analyzing it froze in disbelief. He stared at the data printout, circled the signal in red pen, and wrote a single word beside it. Wow. That signal would later become known as the Wow signal, and nearly 50 years later, nobody has fully explained it. Not NASA, not SETI, not the world's best astronomers. Because whatever sent that transmission appeared once, and then vanished forever. Humanity begins listening to the stars. To understand why this terrified scientists, you first need to understand what they were actually searching for. For decades, humanity has pointed giant radio telescopes toward the stars, listening for signs of intelligent life. Not spaceships, not laser beams, signals. Because radio waves can travel enormous distances across space, and if another civilization existed, advanced enough to communicate across the galaxy, radio would be one of the most likely ways they would try. So scientists began scanning the cosmos. Most of what they heard was noise, natural radiation, cosmic interference, dead static from the universe itself. But buried inside all that chaos, they hoped to find a pattern, something unnatural, something intelligent. And then, on August 15th, 1977, they finally did. August 15th, 1977. At the Big Ear Radio Observatory in Ohio, a massive telescope was silently scanning the sky as usual. No alarms went off. No dramatic moment happened in real time. The telescope simply recorded data onto long sheets of paper made up of numbers and letters. Days later, astronomer Jerry R. Ehman was reviewing the printouts when, suddenly, one section caught his eye. A bizarre sequence. 6EQUJ5. At first glance, it looked meaningless, but to astronomers, this sequence was shocking. Each character represented the intensity of a radio signal, and this one was unbelievably strong, far stronger than normal background noise. But that wasn't the terrifying part. The terrifying part was how specific it was. Why scientists were terrified. The signal came from a very narrow frequency band. That matters because nature usually creates messy signals spread across many frequencies. But intelligent transmissions, like human radio broadcasts, are often narrow and focused. And this signal appeared extremely narrow, almost artificial, almost deliberate. Then scientists noticed something even stranger. The frequency was incredibly close to something called the hydrogen line. Frequency equals 1,420 megahertzes. This frequency is important because hydrogen is the most abundant element in the universe. Astronomers have long believed that if alien civilizations wanted to communicate, they might intentionally transmit near this frequency because every advanced civilization studying space would recognize it. It was essentially considered a universal meeting point. And somehow, this signal appeared right there. Out of every possible frequency in the universe, the signal appeared on a frequency humanity had already identified decades earlier as the most likely place for interstellar communication. And then scientists realized something deeply unsettling. If another civilization wanted to be found, this is exactly where they might try to send a message. The 72 seconds that changed astronomy. For 72 seconds, the transmission grew stronger, stronger, and stronger, before fading away perfectly, exactly as you would expect if the source was fixed somewhere deep in space, while Earth rotated past it. That detail ruled out many explanations immediately. It didn't behave like local interference. It behaved like something far away, very far away. And then it disappeared forever. Then silence. Scientists immediately tried to find it again. They pointed telescopes back toward the same region of space. Nothing. They searched again. Nothing. Years passed. Still nothing. Decades later, nothing. The signal never repeated. Not once. And that single fact changed everything. Because if it had repeated, scientists could have studied it, tracked it, decoded it. But instead, humanity received one brief whisper from the darkness, and then silence. We may have missed the greatest discovery in human history by 72 seconds. Every attempt to explain it. At first, scientists tried to explain it logically. Maybe it was a satellite, but no known satellites matched the signal. Maybe it was military technology. No evidence supported that either. Maybe it was Earth-based interference. But the signal matched the movement pattern expected from a distant astronomical source. Then came one of the strangest theories of all. In 2017, some researchers suggested the signal may have come from a comet, specifically hydrogen clouds surrounding a passing comet. At first, this sounded promising, but many astronomers quickly pushed back because the signal characteristics still didn't fully match, and critics pointed out something unsettling. Why none of the explanations fully fit. If comets naturally produced signals like this, why had astronomers not detected countless similar signals before? Why only once? Why this specific intensity? Why this frequency? And why did it resemble an intentional transmission so closely? That is where the mystery begins to get uncomfortable. Because when scientists eliminate explanations one by one, they are left with a possibility nobody wants to say out loud. What if it really was intelligent? The possibility nobody wants to admit. Think about this carefully. The universe is unimaginably large. There are billions of galaxies, each containing billions of stars, many with planets older than Earth. Statistically, intelligent life should exist somewhere. In fact, some scientists argue it should be everywhere. So then, why have we heard nothing? This question became known as the Fermi paradox. If life is common, where is everybody? And maybe, just maybe, the wow signal was one civilization finally answering. What if the signal was never meant for us? But there is another possibility. A darker one. What if the signal was never meant for us? What if we simply intercepted something passing through space? A beacon, a transmission, a warning, or maybe the final message of a civilization that no longer exists. Because by the time that signal reached Earth, its source could already have been dead for thousands or even millions of years. That is how enormous space truly is. We are not looking at the universe as it is now. We are looking into the past. Every star you see in the night sky is ancient light. So somewhere out there, a civilization may have transmitted a message across the void, completely unaware that one day, a species on a small blue planet would briefly hear it, and then lose it forever. Somewhere out there, another civilization may have looked up at their sky too, wondering the exact same thing we are now, whether they were alone. We may already be broadcasting our location. But the story gets even stranger. The exact origin point of the signal lies near the constellation Sagittarius, a region packed densely with stars, potentially millions of worlds. And despite decades of technological advancement, humanity still cannot fully explain what happened that night. Think about that. Modern humanity can map DNA, build artificial intelligence, land machines on Mars. Yet one short signal detected in 1977 still remains unresolved. And maybe that is the most unsettling part of all. Not that the signal existed, but that we may never know who or what sent it. Because somewhere beyond our atmosphere, beyond our solar system, beyond the reach of human exploration, something produced a transmission powerful enough to cross the darkness between stars. And for 72 seconds, humanity heard it. Then there's the final question. If another civilization really did send that signal, what does that mean for us? Because the moment humanity confirms intelligent life exists elsewhere, everything changes. Religion, science, philosophy, history, even our understanding of ourselves. For all of human civilization, we have viewed Earth as special, unique, the center of meaning. But one confirmed signal from another intelligence would instantly change that forever. We would no longer be alone. And maybe we never were. Right now, as you are watching this, thousands of radio signals are moving silently through space. Human broadcasts, military transmissions, satellite communications. Earth has already announced its existence to the cosmos, which means if someone is out there listening, they already know we exist. The silence between worlds. Maybe the wow signal was just random noise. Maybe it was a comet. Maybe it was interference. Or maybe 47 years ago, humanity accidentally overheard another civilization. A civilization that looked into the darkness of space and did exactly what we are doing now. Listening, waiting, hoping somebody else was out there. And for one brief moment, across the infinite silence of the universe, two civilizations almost touched. For one moment, humanity may not have been alone. And if the wow signal really was intelligent, then somewhere in the universe, another civilization may still be waiting for a reply.